You did a poll question yesterday.
Oh, I did indeed.
Regarding this question. And by the way, for those of you who are like, why are we talking about
because
this? Because
other people are
that they're going to win and that's going to jinx us.
We did use the word
you
if.
have condemned Nebraska to losing this game because you dared to talk about something that might happen after the game. To those people, I say, just
chill. We said
down.
if. We didn't say when Nebraska beats Colorado, but when. I mean, I'll say that when Nebraska beats Colorado. If Nebraska beats Colorado Saturday, should fans storm the field? Yes or no? We didn't give any qualifiers. Oh, if it's a Hail Mary, if it's a last second win, if it's a dominating win. No,
there's no comment.
Yes or no? 1,500 plus voters later. It's still open for 22 more minutes if you would like to go vote. 1,500 votes later, 79.2% say no.
That deserves
Nick doesn't know where it is.
A Jack Buck.
Pardon me,
wow.
I stand up and applaud.
Talk about an upset.
Well done, people. Well done. And to the other 21%, I say, get some perspective.
So we obviously disagree. Shocking, I know.
From the same guy who wants the kids to put their phones down.
I do. Yes, put your phone down and then run on the field and have fun and celebrate. Robin hit on it earlier. And this is ultimately like why I feel this way.
You don't want them to break their ankles, John?
They haven't had a moment like this. I don't care that Colorado sucks.
4-8.
I don't care.
I don't care. In the words of
4-8.
of Tommy Lee Jones, that doesn't bother me. Why should that bother you?
4-8.
Isn't it about a celebration? It's a celebration. Isn't it about a moment? Isn't it about wanting to be happy?
What's the moment?
Beating a team that you haven't beaten in 14 years? Going to 2-0
Well,
for
but
the first
there's
time
an
in 8
asterisk
years?
next to that. It's not like the Wisconsin streak where it's 14 straight years. They've lost 3 in a row in the last, 5 years?
It's about feeling like you arrived. It's about feeling happy.
4-8.
You're gatekeeping. You're gatekeeping fandom right now.
No, I'm not gatekeeping anything.
You are gatekeeping.
It's called perspective.
That's
It's
gatekeeping.
called perspective. Well, fine. Then call it gatekeeping. Call it whatever you want.
A
but it's
20-year-old
perspective.
A 20-year-old started watching football, let's say at 10 years old. That was 10 years ago. That's crap. Crap. They don't ever have anything good. Nothing good in their life.
So why do we lower the bar so far?
Because that's what happens.
No.
You do lower the bar. What do you mean?
Why do you lower the bar so far that you save truly a moment like this for something that matters? Like if you beat Ohio State.
So
if you beat a good team.
What is your bar?
First of all, the first bar is, how about beating a good team?
Okay.
You're not clearing that bar necessarily on Saturday.
Unless to turn an argument that you used on me all this week. What if Colorado goes 11-1? Then they are a good team.
Sure, but it's about beating them in the moment. In the moment. Are they a good team in the moment? Because all of this is spontaneous, correct?
Well, we're all talking about it, so it really won't be that spontaneous anymore. Now it's like I imagine that they're talking about it, that college kids are talking about, should we do it? Should we do it? Should we do it? It's losing its spontaneity because people are actually having the discourse about it.
That aside,
yeah,
the bar is, it's either got to be, and yes, the rivalry part I understand, but it's a broken rivalry. This is not Alabama-Auburn. This is not Texas-Oklahoma.
I don't know why that matters, though.
Well, because usually the bar of doing something like this is beating a superior team, beating a number 1 ranked team, winning your first game in forever. You know, like Northwestern, for example.
So it's like truly being horrible, or it's beating the best of the best?
Or it's a rivalry. You know, you look at Tennessee when they beat Alabama. It'd been a long time since they'd beaten Alabama, plus it's Alabama. And it's a rivalry.
What did you think of 1995 Nebraska? Some consider the greatest team of all time. Tearing down the goalposts after they beat horrible Oklahoma. They won 30.
That was stupid.
Wow, that's wild.
Those were bad Oklahoma teams. That team went 5-5-1.
Yeah.
That was stupid. That was dumb.
That's gatekeeping to me.
Fine, it's gatekeeping, but sometimes people need to be kept out from doing dumb things. Why are you cheapening?
I'm sure Josh agrees.
Why are you cheapening something that should be a euphoric moment.
It is a euphoric moment
for something this. And that's not to say that I don't understand. I understand that this game means a lot to folks, but it means a lot because of what Colorado have done, because of Prime. If this were still McIntyre's Colorado program, would we be talking about this today?
No. But that's where you and I disagree. It's about more than that.
So it's about beating Prime.
And
Colorado. It's about beating Prime. You just said if this were still Mike McIntyre's team.
Of the two. If he was coaching, UTEP, it wouldn't be about just beating Prime. It's about beating Colorado and Prime. It's about both at the same time. They're college kids. They do dumb things all the time. Not going to be bothered by it. I hope they do it. I think it'd be really cool.
Why would you hope that they do something that's dumb?
First of all, I think it's a cool visual. I think it looks great. Nebraska fans have not stormed the field in almost 30 years. I've never gotten to watch a game where they stormed the field. I've never seen it one time. I've always wanted to see it because I've always thought it would be a cool visual and it'd be a cool moment and it'd be a great celebration. And I would say more power to you, fans. But I'm also someone who doesn't get offended and bothered by good teams storming the field. I think it's cool when fans do that. I think it's special. That's like a part of the college experience that I never got.
But this isn't about whether or not Nebraska's good or bad. This is who you're doing it against. And to me, it should happen when it's a real noteworthy win. And again, I don't see Saturday as necessarily a noteworthy win.
But that's where you and I disagree. Is that I do think that it's that. I do think that this game matters. I do think that this is huge for the big picture and the short term. I think it's all of those things. But I also think if the college kids of today think like this game is big and warrants this, more power to you. Do it. You'll
look dumb for doing it, but sure.
You'll look dumb in your eyes. And what? Goofy national media people, they're going to say, well, you stormed the field against Colorado? Pound sand. Like, who cares? What? They're 20 years old, and they're going to it's like they shouldn't, first of all, let me tell them what to do as a 36-year-old, let alone someone in their 50s, let alone someone in their 60s. That
doesn't mean that you still can't have a value judgment and say this is ridiculous and doesn't make any sense.
But my value judgment
don't say it because you might hurt someone's feelings. Who cares?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's wwhy I say don't do it, because it would hurt your feelings. I say
no, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm just going to think it looks dumb.
That's fine. I think it would look cool as hell.
You just want it for the visual.
Well, no, I want it for.
Just said it. You just want it for the visual. I've never seen it before. I'd like to have it. It's a visual. Cool.
I never got to. My generation and younger has never had a moment like this. I want them to have a moment like that. I never got that moment. I remember the USC game, and yeah, they were way better, much better program. I remember going into that game wondering, like, could this be the year where they finally storm the field? And I'd get to be a part of that. And then it didn't happen. And then I wondered a few years later, Oklahoma, could this be the year where they finally stormed the field? And it didn't happen. And then Missouri came in the next year. Top 10 team. Missouri. We all hated them. Could this be the year? Nope, it wasn't the year. And so it just was like, wow, okay, well, if none of these are worthy of it because they're not the number one team.
But that's where you and I differ. This game is not going to define whether or not Matt Rule's program succeeds or fails.
Maybe.
Guarantee it. This game will, put it on the list.
The X.
This game will not guarantee yay or nay whether or not Matt Rule's program has any long-term success. This is one of the steps. This is a game, and it is, I agree. It's an emotional game for the fans, and it probably means more to the fans, big picture, than it means to the football team. That doesn't mean it doesn't mean something to the football team. Of course they want to win.
Mm-hmm.
And of course they want to go 2-0. And of course they want to build on what they have done. But I don't know. I just feel like moments like this, it's kind of like a Michael Bay film, right? Where it's just nonstop explosion. And after 30 straight minutes of explosion, the next explosion loses meaning. And for something like this, it's different when Nebraska beat Purdue in basketball.
Yeah, of course.
It's
different.
That was a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge deal. When Creighton beat UConn, number 1 ranked team, that's a huge deal. Even though, interestingly enough, Creighton had already beaten UConn several times, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
But they were the number 1 team. You're really doing this because it's prime. because they have gotten under your skin.
And Colorado.
But you see, again, I don't think that's true. The Colorado rivalry doesn't mean anything to a 20-year-old because this is going to be only the fourth game they've seen in their life.
Yeah,
it's not an annual deal.
We're telling them it means something, though, right? Like, Oklahoma, to me, was never this huge. Like, it was big because I was told it was big. But it wasn't big because it was big to me, you know? I didn't grow up in the heyday.
But but it's still Oklahoma, a good football program.
Because I learned
this
about
is Colorado, not a good football program.
Sure.
Currently.
Sure.
That's why. I don't mean to demean Colorado in general, but currently in the status that they have been in and are in, they're just another team.
I'm on your side for the record, Josh. I think that the perception of this game is enough to storm the field if they win. I think it's an important game. Even if it's not an important game, I think it's an important moment.
Well, let's find out what the people.
Let's do it.
Here's Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Thanks for waiting. You're in the zone.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. Josh, Nick, even, I gotta set you straight here. You are lowering the bar so low with this by charging the field or storming the field if we beat Colorado. As John says, a 4-8 team, and all it does is justifies the idiocracy that is having to call Coach Prime and all of the garbage that comes out of Colorado. Do not storm the field if we beat Colorado. It is just another notch in the belt if we beat Colorado. Do not storm the field. It is justifying that crap that's coming out of that organization that is.
But
Colorado.
Kevin, you would have won the game. You would have won the game, though.
We should win the game.
They
Josh.
but Kevin, the point that I'm trying to make is less like the programs itself, but more what are they going to say? You storm the field because we matter to you, and then you just turn around and say, yeah, but we won the game. They still took the L no matter what. They can't turn storming the field into a W. They lost the game.
They can't turn it into a W, but they will turn it around on us by saying they were so excited to beat a team like us.
Yeah,
they stormed the field.
And they would be,
and they're a team like they are. They won 4 games. They're full of hype. They're a paper champion. They have won nothing. Yes, it's nice that we beat Colorado. It's nice. It's great. I'm all for it. I love it. But it means nothing. Period.
Kevin, thanks for the call. Thanks for the call.
For the record, Nebraska lowered the bar. Nebraska has lowered the bar.
Yeah.
That's a part of this.
Nebraska's lowered the bar, but the team they beat also has an extremely low bar.
Yeah, well, that bar was a bar they didn't clear last year. By 22 points, they didn't clear it last year.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying, the bar has been lowered by Nebraska. This is a Nebraska problem.
The bar is already low, right?
Yeah,
now.
it's not. Yeah, so I don't know. Save me on the whole. Well, this means that Nebraska is bad. Yes, duh. Is that news?
Here's Andrew.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello, fellas. What is it with you young people?
Young? Andrew, I'm almost 40 now, bro.
Yeah, Josh is old as hell.
Andrew, Josh just said earlier that he thinks you kids need to put your cell phones down. He's an old man now.
Yep.
I mean, you beat a 4-8 team last year. Sweet Jesus. That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's like every time Creighton beats Nebraska in basketball, should we storm the court? No, it's a terrible program.
Andrew, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow. The Nebraska fan got to dig in about Nebraska. Very strange. Scott says, are people forgetting Nebraska has been a god-awful team? Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
But there's a difference. When I mentioned Northwestern, when they had their hellacious losing streak.
That was more of a bit that they stormed the field, right?
No, it was, hey, we finally won a game. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska's not that low. They're not.
No, they're not that low because that's historical.
They're not even close to that.
No, I mean, they were going winless for years at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, years at a time.
So even because this is a rivalry, so you don't think that even storming the field on a rivalry win would
see that's the thing. That's some people
I don't think. I mean, again, it used to be a great rivalry.
Right.
It's a broken rivalry because didn't play for several years. They're not in the same conference.
Mm-hmm.
And after this year, who knows when the next time we're going to see these guys. So it's not, this isn't Tennessee, Alabama. This isn't Texas, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a second cousin of a rivalry right now. And I'm not saying that because, you're just saying that because Bill McCartney declared. No. I acknowledge, man, in the late days of the Big 12 conference, yes, this was the rivalry game, as close as you could get to what a rivalry would be. But then the two teams went their separate ways and didn't play for a very long time. So this is a broken rivalry.
Yeah, for sure. But
so this doesn't.
All of Nebraska's
register.
rivalries are broken now, except for Iowa.
Go Hawks.
Right.
All of them are.
Right. But I think most of this emotion of should we do it or why we should do it is based on the fact that it's prime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's those guys.
It
and
does
it's what
play a large
they
part.
have said.
Yeah.
And it's what they have done. And so you're helping legitimize the thing that gets under your skin.
Kyle writes, Wisconsin fan Kyle, let the kids enjoy something. Nebraska hasn't beat anyone in 20 years. I hear you guys hate Colorado. Isn't that worth celebrating? I was rooting against UNL already, but this reaction makes me want them to lose even more. Wow. Now he's rooting against Nebraska because of you, John. Because of you.
What, a Wisconsin fan is rooting against Nebraska?
Because of you.
Who cares?
That's what I said to you about it's a bad team.
Oh, no,
situation.
Wisconsin's not going to support us. Who cares?
Chris says, with that logic, according to younger fans, then you should storm the field for Iowa, too.
I mean, yeah, actually. But
Wouldn't
you don't
bother
win,
me.
so
Wouldn't bother me.
it doesn't happen.
That makes more
Hey,
sense.
2 years ago.
That makes more sense to me, or Wisconsin makes more sense to me than Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. It's also early in the season.
Oh, that doesn't. See, these are weird qualifiers. I don't care if it's September, October, November, December.
John,
What does it matter?
But you're not beating anyone of any quality. You're
Who
not
cares?
beating anybody who's ranked.
Yeah.
You're not beating anybody that has owned you forever
Sure.
because you play on an annual basis.
Sure.
And you're also beating someone on September the 7th.
See, but why does that part matter? At least I'll hear you on the other stuff. I don't know.
Because it
you
hasn't
can't storm the field in September, but you can in October?
It means you're 2-0.
Yeah, so what? Again, what does that have to do with anything?
It means you're 2-0.
What does 2-0 have to do with it?
Which means you can, you know what?
You can lose out.
This
Yes,
would be
I
an
know.
awesome visual. They stormed the field for beating a 4-8 team, and then they went 2-10.
See, but nobody cares about that. Nobody looks back and says, "Can you
But
believe they stormed the field?" And then,
Again, it's like a Michael Bay movie. After so many times of explosion, every explosion becomes less important. Make the big moments matter. Make the really big moments matter.
if they haven't done it in 30 years, it's not like the next one's going to happen that soon anyway, though, right? Like, it's not a thing that happens. You were in college or barely out of college the last time it happened. I don't even remember 1995.
I
It was
don't
in
know.
Michigan.
But this isn't a.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're like the next time it happens. Who knows when the next time would even be? It doesn't happen around here because of the attitude that you have. I think is the general viewpoint.
Plus-
I know that I'm in the minority on this, and that's fine. But your attitude about it, and I don't mean attitude as a pejorative, but like that's the viewpoint that people have. And so, like, if they do it 2 days from now, I don't think that they're going to do it again in a month or in 2 months. I think it probably happened many, many, many years from now because. If it does at all, I'm honestly,
So if that's the case, why waste it on this?
When's it going to happen, though, John? Matt Rule himself says he likes
It
to
doesn't-
schedule
That's the
cupcakes.
thing. That's the thing. You guys make it sound like, oh my God, if this doesn't happen, the world's going to explode.
Not that.
It's
It
not gonna
doesn't
explode.
need. It
It's
doesn't
just-
have to happen. It doesn't need to happen.
This is the closest that it's been to happening in a while. Let it happen.
So, who cares?
obviously a lot of people
Why?
do.
People who've never got to experience it, they care.
Well, then, hell, do it last week after beating UTEP.
UTEP and Colorado are not at the
You guys
same
are
level.
arguing the point that this needs to be done because it hasn't been done in a while. Well, fine. Just then do it last week after they win. They won a game. Well, let's do it.
But that's not beating Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado isn't UTEP.
Exactly. But that's the point. It's Colorado.
But some people are saying John, we're doing a pregame. Like, come on. We can't keep pretending that this
don't use the argument we're doing a pregame.
We are.
That's not a qualifier.
It's a huge, massive game. It is
not a huge, massive game.
You can't say that and then say, and join us for our pregame show. This game is massive. It is so big for the program and so big for this season. It's okay to say that.
It's also big nationally.
It is. It's a huge game. People won't shut up about how big this game is. Just because you disagree. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do disagree.
That's so wild.
I do disagree.
But you just can't recognize this game is huge.
I think this is
such a big game.
Yeah, it's huge because the fans want it. And I get that. And that's fine. That's all well and good. But
what about the TV ratings?
have some perspective.
What about the TV ratings?
Well,
there won't be as many people watching
and why
any
are
other
the
game.
TV ratings coming in?
Because people
Ain't
love
because
Dylan
of the team
Raiola.
you root for.
Dylan
it's because
Raiola.
of the dude that's coming into town with the glasses and the beard. It's prime.
Oh, I thought you meant maybe another dude who's going to come into town with glasses.
Santa?
No, it's only September.
It's only September.
It's only September.